All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is October 18th, 2024. Let's go ahead and jump back to yesterday. If you guys recall, we were talking about a potential peak above and fail scenario from the all-time high. So let's go up here. And remember, the previous all-time high was just in front of our roadmap level up here at 1975. In the pre-market coming into yesterday morning, we had tagged it, pull back, and we're just peeking through it. And I warned you guys that this might be one of those typical peak above and fail scenarios where, let's pull up the higher time frame chart here real quick. We have the old all-time high, again, just in front of the roadmap level. They pulled back. They held our roadmap level almost to the tick here for 3 tests. And so I think it was to the tick on 2 of those tests. Came all the way up, and then coming into yesterday morning, we had a clue that this would be a peak above and fail for the pullback. So let's take a look at what ended up happening here. Market opened and we did trend lower. It just wasn't a nice straight line, right? It was kind of sideways. So let's take a look at some of the details here. Out of the open, we get the pullback and a beautiful kiss at the back end of that first roadmap level. And if you did try a short from there, notice on the second test, we had a beautiful bearish divergence, and we were also testing the back end of the fast moving average. So there was a great opportunity there to try a short. If you did that, you basically got the entire move of the day, never had to worry about taking any risk. In fact, that second test there, or even the first test, we're talking about 0 ticks of risk or 2 or 3 ticks of risk. And you got this whole push to whatever the low of the day ended up becoming here. That is now what, 19.5, down below 90 there, so over 20 points, right? And then from there, actually, it was like 25, 30 points. So from that spot there, we got a really nice, healthy pullback. And then what do you know? They come right to the holy orange power level, and then we get our biggest bounce of the morning. So great opportunity there to buy, also with a big glaring bullish divergence as we were testing that level. And from there, you got a pretty decent pop. So probably could have got almost 10, little over 10 points here to the upside, right? Maybe even 15 points to the upside. But then the bears jump back in. And on the way up, as you can see, they came into the 200. We got the pullback, but then they could not get through the fast moving average. So should have been a clue if you did try to short off the first test of the 200 there, that they found support, big bullish divergence, and we're coming right back up. So came back through, and then as you can see, that was as far as they could get. They got up through it. They were holding the top end of VWAP the whole way, and then it fell back down. And there is our first test of the 200. As we got the first crossover here and got back below VWAP there. So great opportunity. In this case, I don't think we had a perfect bearish divergence off that high, but a beautiful opportunity for that pullback. And then what do you know? Like a stair step, again, the market fails from our major roadmap level. Oh, wrong one. Fails from there, bounces off the first one, comes down and bounces off the second one, right? So there is our second roadmap level on the chart, ducks through it by just about a point, and then comes back up to test VWAP again. So good opportunity there for a long as well off the next roadmap level. You can see that first test of the 200, I guess, well, maybe not the first test at that point, but that test of the 200, once again, only got to the fast moving average. I guess you could argue to the holy orange power level, and then came right back. So if you were trying to short from there, should have noticed that they were bringing it right on back. And then, again, they tried to get through VWAP, could not do it. And again, it was a bit choppy in here, right? So, you know, they came down, they held the hopeful again. There's another opportunity to try a buy off the hopeful. Holds the back end of VWAP, just chops around, right? Holds, then after the hopeful, it holds the next roadmap level nearly to the tick. And then there's that next test of the 200. So each test of the 200 here would have worked for a trade with very limited risk to the downside. Unfortunately, didn't quite make it to our next roadmap level, which was down at the previous daily close. We were about 2 points in front of it there. and then they brought it right back up. There's your parry right off of VWAP and parry right off of the 200 there on either side. And that was it. It's just kind of sideways chop, right? So good opportunity to buy the 200. You would have got a nice 10-point bounce. And then just kind of, again, choppiness. And then at the end of the day, we get the hold off the back end of the Hopel to come down and almost test the previous daily close by just a couple ticks away. So again, maybe not the most beautiful day because it was a bit sideways there for most of the morning, but still some pretty awesome opportunities with limited risk from a lot of these areas. So that concludes yesterday, brings us into the overnight session here. And so far, bulls are recovering now from the low of the overnight session and trying to push right back up to the old all-time high. So that's where we stand right now. Let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames and see what they have to say for this morning.